Hi guys, I'm Mrs. Zimmer and I'm going to be the virtual kindergarten teacher for the 2020-2021 school year. I just want to give you some information. I know this is a new learning experience for all of us, and I just wanted to kind of touch base with the different things that you're going to need to know in order to have a successful virtual classroom experience. I know that this is not how you expected to send your child to school for kindergarten, and I'm never expected to be able to teach fully online, but we're going to try to make this the best experience that we can and stay positive and have open communication so that this can be a successful year for your child. I'm going to go through this slideshow. I'm not going to read word for word off of my slideshow because I know that you can look back at it through this video. It'll also be posted in our Google Classroom, which you'll learn later how to join. And I'm just going to share some important information with you that goes with this school year. As far as me, this is my 8th year teaching here at Memphis. I spent the last 6 years in preschool, and last year was my first year in teaching kindergarten. As far as distance learning goes, the main part that I need you to keep in mind is to always be on time, always be prepared, and to create a quiet learning space for your child. It's going to be really hard to keep them focused at home, so having a designated area in your home that is for virtual learning will be really important so that they'll be able to focus on their learning. As far as our schedule, this is going to be kind of flexible. Every day you will have to log into our Google Meets, which is using the video camera to do attendance. So that'll be by 9 o'clock. So as you can see, it says log on at 8:50. Between 8:50 and 9 o'clock, you need to be logged in. At 9 o'clock, I will take attendance. If I do not see your child there, then they will be marked absent for the day. So you have to be on there every morning at 9. We will do kind of a little morning meeting. As the year progresses, that'll get a little bit longer. But as far as the rest of the day, it's kind of a flexible schedule. You'll see that it says like reading lesson video, writer's workshop video, math lesson video. Those are all going to be pre-recorded, so that you can kind of go at your child's pace. I know they're 5 and 6 years old. They're not going to sit at a table for 3 hours to complete this all at once. So I do encourage you to take breaks. These videos will be available to you each morning. Right after attendance, I'll post the assignments, and you'll be able to kind of do these at your own pace as long as they're done by the end of the school day, which is 3:30, so that you can submit those to me. You'll see that we have designated times. So I know a lot of kids thrive on being a routine, so follow this if you want. Perfect, and just as long as you're getting all the work done. Now, the only other time that you may have to be on live at a scheduled time is when we do small group or individual Google Meets, which will kind of progress as we get into our schedule. But as far as that goes, I will send you an invite and you will know what time to be on there so that you can be available. Otherwise, this is pretty flexible, but you will be required to be on there daily for attendance. As far as the grading goes, I think the easiest way so that you can get some feedback immediately is that once your child completes their work for the day, email me a picture of each page they completed so that I can give you some feedback on email. That'll help to be able to not have to wait, because we've talked about maybe doing like a drop off with work or pick up time every couple weeks, but I would rather you get immediate feedback. So if there's something that I want to correct, like whether they're maybe forming a letter wrong or doing something incorrectly that I want to change, that way we can do that immediately so that you're able to correct that before they get in the habit of doing it a certain way. So I do ask that if there will be a couple of online assignments like quizzes that they'll have to take, different assessments, that you let your child do their work on their own and guide them as needed, but that way that we're making sure that I'm getting accurate data so that I can adapt my lessons and teach them the correct way. As far as homework goes, I know that they're already going to be doing so much work at home, and it's really hard to get kids to stay focused and want to do that much work at home, so there won't be a lot of homework in kindergarten. There will be different things that I'll ask you to practice, and when we do our small groups, whatever we're working on with your child in that small group, that'll be something that you can work on at home as well. So here's some different things that I might ask you to work on throughout the year. As far as the classroom rules go, as we're not going to be on live a lot, so that won't be that big of a problem. But when we do our small groups or when we're on attendance, I am going to ask them to follow the rules that we follow here in school, which is be safe, be responsible, be respectful, and be a falcon. So that's going to be really important when we do our small groups, when it's turn taking time and making sure that they're being respectful of their peers so that we're able to learn. So another part of being respectful is having that quiet learning space. So I know a lot of times you might have siblings in your house, and sometimes they want to get involved. And I have a 2.5-year-old. I know that she can be nosy and want to see what's involved, but having that space and being responsible and being respectful of the others that are trying to learn will really help us be able to get through our lessons and make the best of this experience. As far as school supplies, you're going to need the general supplies at home. Those are listed here. When you come in for testing this week, I will be providing you with the workbooks and a math toolkit you'll need to be able to complete the rest of your assignments. As far as technology goes, you will need a computer that has a webcam. I know a lot of you signed up to get those from the school, so that will be happening this week, and internet access. I know sometimes that can be tricky and sometimes it doesn't work. My internet goes out randomly, but just try to contact me if that happens, so that I know that you're having issues and we'll work around that. As far as our Google Classroom goes, I know a lot of you have had a couple contact me about being able to have the code to be added. Your child has a Google email through the school, and that's what we would like them to use to be added to the classroom. So I have that information. When you come in for testing, I will give you your child's email address and their password. I've already invited them to our classroom. So once you log in, you can change that password to something that's probably going to be easier for you to remember, and that is the email that they will use to access our class. So they already have an invite. You'll find that there on their email once you log in. So I will be providing you with their email and their password when you come in to have their kindergarten testing. And we already talked about Google Meets. Those will be scheduled, so you'll have a time, and I will send a link to their email saying this is on Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Please join me for a Google Meets. So that'll be a small group, and you'll know that ahead of time, and then you'll just click our link. There is a link at the top of our Google Classroom page. That is what you're going to click every time that we have to be on Google Meet. So every morning for attendance, every time that your child has a small group activity to do with me, that is the link that you will click. As far as school policy goes, we do follow the district policy, so you can find those in the handbook and refer to that if you have any questions. As far as reading and language arts, we will be using journeys. So your child will have a workbook, we'll complete activities in that each day. And we also have a textbook that you'll be able to access online. So those will be things that help us. And as the year progresses, so will our reading level and our use for different books. So I'll be providing all that for you. As far as writing goes, we're going to do a daily writer's workshop. Some days that'll be a video of me completing a sentence. Some days I'll ask your child to complete their own sentence using sight words that we have learned that week and using invented spelling where they try to sound out and spell the word on their own. That looks different each time, and that is not something that I expect them. Invented spelling is what it sounds like. They are spelling how they think it sounds, which is probably not going to be correct every time, but that's what I want to see, is that they're applying that letter sound to the letter name and being able to write it down and create those words. So this will progress as the year goes on, and we'll create this daily, and you'll have writer's workshop paper to use at home. And as far as math, we use the Ready Math series. They'll have a workbook for that as well, and then each day there'll be a video that you'll follow along and complete the workbook pages that go along with the lesson. And there's also a math series that they use on the computer, so they'll be using that frequently. It has an assessment, so I can either use lessons based on what they need to work on based on their assessment results, or I can assign lessons, like say we're working on addition in math, and I can assign addition lessons that they can complete each week. As far as centers, I know you'll see on the schedule that they have a reading center in the morning and a math center in the afternoon. These are going to be pretty basic, and they're going to have choice boards where there's going to be 4 centers for each 4 days that we're here the week, and they're going to get to pick one of those centers each day as long as they complete all 4 by the end of the week. So there'll be a math choice board and a reading choice board for centers, and they'll get to do one of those a day. Some important info. I know that I said how important communication is before. That is going to be very, very key into making this a positive and successful experience. This is new for me, this is new for you. So you're my communication to know whether your child is being successful at home with the learning or if there's something else I can do. I'm planning to pre-record because I think that at their age, that's probably going to be easiest, so that you can kind of go at their own pace and we're not all just sitting and being live like we would be in the classroom. It's kind of more difficult to do at this age. But if there's any point that you think like, hey, I think that we need to be live so that we can communicate back and forth, we can change that up. This is a new learning experience for all of us, and we're just going to have to be patient and communicative so that we can work together and make this the best experience possible. Here's my contact information. I did include the Google Class code here, but I do ask that you get on that class email. I'm only going to be wanting the students using their school email so that it's all interlocked with our school process. And here's my contact information. Now, throughout the day, will we be having the Google Meets videos? Sometimes I might not be available to answer an email or a phone call right away. So if I'm meeting with a small group, I will get back to you as soon as I can. And as you see, my contact hours are between 8:30 and 3:30. So if you contact me before or after that, during those hours, when I get a chance, I will contact you as soon as possible. And we will be following the regular school calendar. So here's some important dates coming up. This is our virtual open house. And then this week, you will be coming in with your child by appointment to complete your kindergarten testing. And then Labor Day, we don't have school on that Monday. So the way this is going to kind of work is this week your child will be coming in for testing. Next week, the students coming to the school are doing what's called stagger start, where just small groups of students come in each day and not all at once. So we're going to do that online as well, and I'll kind of send you out a Google Meets, and I might meet with your child individually on those days, just one day next week, so there won't be a lot of assignments. I might send out some fun stuff just to kind of get to know your child better. But as far as actual assignments next week, they're not going to be a lot. Also, as we progress, we'll be adding things. We're not going to just immediately start out with that schedule and have a reading lesson, centers, writing lesson, math centers every day starting out that first week, which will be that Tuesday after Labor Day that we start out full time. It's going to be gradual. We're going to start with maybe centers, and then we're going to add in reading, then we're going to add in writing, then we're going to, just like I would in the classroom if they were here, I don't expect them to understand the process of each. So there's going to be a video teaching you how those processes work first, and then we'll build upon that each week. So this is all the information I have for you. You have my contact information if you have any questions. And like I mentioned, I will give you the email and the password so that they can join the classroom when you come in to meet me this week. And I will have some other packets and stuff for you then. If you have any questions in the meantime, email me, call me. I will be here today and tomorrow. And anything you need, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'm really excited to meet your kids and have this new experience with them. And thanks for stopping by.